Hello and good evening everyone, and welcome to yet another World of Warcraft live stream where I'm just setting some things up because I think I messed something up on the stream. But today I am wanting to continue our explorations of Outland, and I want to go ahead and head to a brand new zone that we have not yet explored, which is a really cool zone because it's kind of like the heart of the Outlands, and it is Terracar Forest, where so far we have explored pretty much all of Hellfire Peninsula, and we have explored pretty much all of Zangarmarsh. And basically my goal today is to do that same entire concept but in Terracar Forest. And I feel like tonight might be a little bit of a longer stream, which is fun than what I have done in the past. So we might do some other things as well. But I hope everyone is having a good evening, and I hope everyone is taking good care of themselves. And hopefully, I think this should be fixed soon. I accidentally posted the wrong thumbnail. So if I just go into YouTube really quickly, it should be fixed at some point soon. But let's go ahead and head into Terracar Forest, which should be really fun, where we have the southeastern exit of Zangarmarsh. It goes into Terracar Forest, and then we also have this like central, southern, western kind of exit out of Hellfire Peninsula that goes into Terracar, and then there's also an entrance into Nagrand and into Shadowmoon Valley. But we can go ahead and follow along the road here, where we are going to see the zone transition from kind of like the mushroomy areas of Zangarmarsh into the foresty areas of Terracar Forest, where this is a fun zone because it is a forest zone, which of course is always popular to see in video games, and places like Elwyn Forest is like a very iconic location, and Terracar Forest is kind of the Outlands forest, where it's basically the only forest. But we do have kind of Nagrand, which people like because it's kind of like a green plainsy area, which is not a forest, but it kind of hits like another similar vibe to Elwyn Forest. But right off the bat, we have the city of Shatrath, which is the main capital city here in the Outlands, and it served as the main hub during the Burning Crusade expansion. And in the Wrath Lich King Classic, it's not too important, and in the modern versions of the game, it is also not that important. But let's go ahead and fly down here, where we can go ahead and chat with this person right here, and we now have the flight path here. But we also see Shatrath Saw now and Shatrath City, the Torn Chieftains, playing in the World's End Tavern at the top of the hour. And well, it's almost the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and come into here, where there's a Silverwing Emissary in here, which is fun. Is there... oh, there's a Warsong Emissary over there as well. But we can see that the Elite Torn Chieftains has their special drum set up in here. It's kind of a confusing thing to say. But we also got some cool people like Zephyr, who's a member of the Keepers of Time. And we got Harris Pelton, who is an Easter egg that most people probably know about. And we can get the Gigantique bag. And we have the portable hole as well, which is a 24 slot bag. But I think there's an achievement to get the Gigantique bag, which is always kind of fun to get because it is like a nice bag to have as well. But I don't think we have an innkeeper in here. So we can go ahead and go to one of the other inns, but at the top of the hour should be the ETC, where it looks like it's happening now. I just heard the music change, but now the music's back. It's top of the hour in realm time and local time, because I know sometimes local time is a minute ahead. I turn up my volume here. You just saw the clickety clackety on my keyboard alongside all of the silence here. I guess I should check the thumbnail. Okay, the thumbnail has been fixed. Very nice.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here.
Oh, that's Ryan Reynolds. Good for him. Okay. So it looks like said top of the hour, but now it's not happening. So let's go ahead, exit out of this area. And a really cool thing about Shadrath and kind of Outlands as a whole is the whole outdoor and scryer stuff that goes on, where members of both factions can decide to join up with one of these factions. And the scryers are mostly just like blood elves that used to work alongside Kael'thas, but they betrayed Kael'thas and they surrendered to Shadrath. Whereas the outdoor are some of like the old Draenei that have lived on this road, and they are trying to like rebuild Shadrath and kind of like restore a lot of like the Draenei culture in the Outlands. But we have an inn over here that we can go ahead and come to, and I can go ahead and speak to the innkeeper, where we can actually be friends with both the outdoor and the scryers, but it doesn't get us too much, where we can choose one of them where we become enemies with the other faction. But we can unlock like some special quests and some special rewards and stuff, where I don't think I'm going to do any of the scryers and outdoor stuff in like this like run through of the Outlands, or probably at any other time on my channel really, where that's kind of just something like fun that we can see. Where I want to come back over here really quickly just to point out, because I missed that there is an entrance into Nagrand right there through that tunnel, which is kind of like a fun perk of being a member of the outdoor, where you can just like go straight into Nagrand like on your mount or whatever, but we can fly around and stuff. And if we don't ally ourselves with the scryers, we can go ahead and just like fly around both of these areas anyways, where we have the scryer area here, which is really cool, and it's very blood elfy with like a bunch of blood elf statues and stuff. And we can see over yonder here we have the scryers inn. But let's go ahead, maybe stop by the Road Inn Tavern one more time, and then we can go ahead and head out into Terakar Forest, where we've explored the first area, I guess now. Yeah, it looks like it's bugged and it's not happening, but the Elite Torn Chieftains is kind of a fun part of the game, where they were like a band in real life or whatever for like BlizzCon, and they played like some special like World of Warcraft like based songs, and they're here in Shadowrot City, and they're also in like the modern version of the Darkmoon Fair, and they're also in Blackrock Depths, which is fun. But let's go ahead and come out into Terakar Forest, which is the third zone that we are exploring through here in the Outlands. And we can go ahead and come straight to the Cenarian Thicket, where we can begin our quests, and we'll make our way over towards the Alarian Stronghold soon enough. But this is another one of the outposts of the Cenarian expedition, where we interacted with them a lot in Zangarmarsh, but now we won't be seeing too much of them outside of Zangarmarsh. But there is this massive outpost here that was destroyed, which is very unfortunate. And let's find the warden over here. And then in Blades Edge Mountains, they also have a stronghold, where I think I played through that area on my human warrior, except I didn't do too many quests around like that's one specific spot. But I did like go past it as I was exploring Blades Edge. Where I think Terakar Forest as a whole is a really cool area, and it kind of goes back to like those like Warcraft 2 vibes, where I really like the Alarian Stronghold because it's similar to Honor Hold in many ways, where you kind of like build that fortress in the game, and it's like built in the book as well, which is really fun. But I think like the vibes of Outlands as a whole, it feels a lot like the classic version of the game, but it feels really like an extension to like vanilla World of Warcraft as far as like vibes go. Gameplay wise, a lot of things really change in the Burning Crusade. But I feel like I have like a lot of nostalgia with the Burning Crusade because it feels a lot like vanilla, but like vanilla with like a different vibe compared to like, you know, more recent expansions, and like starting with the Wrath Lich King and into Cataclysm, where it like goes like further and further and further away from like the vibes of vanilla, which is obviously like an okay thing, and it's like the evolution of the game. But the Burning Crusade, you know, it uses a lot of assets and a lot of kind of like similar like story ideas from vanilla World of Warcraft, where it just makes it feel like a similar experience, where Wrath Lich King really kind of is like the first expansion in the game when it comes to like adding a bunch of new like art decorations and stuff. Let's go ahead and take this. I don't think it's necessarily better than what we currently have, but because it's like spellcasting, but I think it would be okay. I've also amassed many an item in my inventory, which I might have to go and take care of at some point. And I set my Hearthstone to Honor Hold, and then I set it to the Cenarian Outpost Refuge, that's what it's called, where I feel like I'm not going to change that again because I want to keep it in Shadwrath until we get to like Wrath Lich King areas, which I probably won't play too much on stream. But here we just kind of like discovered the special item here that is responsible for this entire area, where throughout this quest chain, and I'm kind of just going to skip to the end, we kind of like investigate what is going on here and like what happened to this area. And this is a similar thing to some other things that we see across the Outlands, where I explored this a lot in Netherstorm, a similar kind of story beat, but there was a mana bomb or arcane bomb, mana bomb, whatever, that was used by Kael'thas's forces, and it kind of destroyed this entire area, where they are building a bigger one nearby, where there are a bunch of blood elves in this map that we can go ahead and fight minions of Kael'thas. So that's going to be a big thing alongside a bunch of other stories in this map. Another big like story beat is with the Arakora, where this is basically like the only map they're really in. They're also in like Blades Edge Mountains a little bit, and then we kind of see like a couple of Arakora here and there, but for the most part this is kind of their map. And like when you look at Warlords of Draenor, we can also see that like their homeland is kind of like here in Terrakar, but it's also like going into like a piece of landmass that was destroyed by Ner'zhul when he turned Draenor into the Outlands. Oh, silence. Okay. Let's deal with this Terramoth. So I need a few more samples of this, and then more samples of this. And then I think this quest chain will actually take us to the Alarian Stronghold. So I suppose we could just hang out here for a little bit and complete this as much as we can. And then I think we get sent to like the Blood Elf area later on. But there has been a lot of like information released about like the WoW remix for Mr. Pandaria that I talked a lot about last stream, and it's been kind of fun to see like all the different things that is going to like occur during that entire experience, which again I feel like I'm just going to play it probably like a tiny bit just to experience it a little bit and I'm pacified, but I'm probably not going to play it a whole lot. But I think the collection and completionist aspect of me definitely wants to try to get some of the mounts, because I think that would be fun. But it kind of goes back to that whole thing about like, do I really want to play through like a Mr. Pandaria classic? And the answer is maybe a little bit just for nostalgia, but for the most part I don't really care too much. But we've learned a little bit more about Cataclysm Classic and what's going to be happening with that, where we are now like 15-ish days away from the pre-patch, where I think I'm going to do like this stream, and then I'm probably going to do a Guild Wars 2 stream pretty soon, because there's a big thing that I'm wanting to do on stream in that game. And then I think after that I'm probably going to do my Wrath of the Lich King kind of recap stream that I've been talking about wanting to do, where I want to go through a bunch of different areas in the world and kind of just explore a lot of different ideas related to like the Wrath Lich King, as well as like the old world of Classic. And then after that stream, we might have another stream of me exploring through Outlands before the pre-patch, but I might also just wait until the pre-patch is out before I continue doing more things. Just depends on like how much time I have to do stuff and how many things are going on in the world and whatnot. I think I enjoy streaming a decent amount, but it's definitely like not something I would probably ever want to do daily. I just like hanging out every now and then. It's been really great for a lot of this like World of Warcraft stuff, I think. World of Warcraft is like a really hard game to make Let's Plays for. If you want to do like a full playthrough of the game, because it's so long. And if you do like a weekly episode, one episode a week, it can take like a really long time to get through it, which of course we've seen with like my Let's Play series, where I've like experimented with like a lot of like structure and stuff. And I'm going to talk about this in like a future Let's Play episode, but I'm planning on switching some things up when it comes to my World of Warcraft Let's Plays. But going back to Cataclysm Classic, it was announced that a lot of the servers that are currently like active in the Wrath Lich King Classic are going to be shut down in the Cataclysm Classic, which is kind of an interesting thing because it's overall for the best, because the server that I am on is going to be shut down because there's barely anybody on it. There's like, you know, a decent amount of people on it, but for the most part, there's like no one playing this really. Like I have barely seen like anyone out on the road. Like in our streams, like I interacted with one person in the last stream, and I've only ever seen like a total of like 10 different people probably. So it's probably for the best that this is happening, but also it kind of sucks in like multiple ways, because you are going to be forced onto like a specific server where all of the characters, or like a good chunk of the characters, like this current character that I'm on, as well as like the human warrior that I was playing earlier, and then I have like a dwarf hunter and like a bunch of other characters, are ones that I made on like launch day, or like 3 days before launch day or whatever, for World of Warcraft Classic. So those are like really special characters to me, and they're being transferred to new servers, but I believe some of the character names that I have are taken onto those new servers, which is like one of the main reasons why I like played on like this server a lot, is because I had those names compared to like not having them on the other servers. So it's really kind of like a sad thing that I have a bunch of characters that I made like 5 years ago, where I think I'm going to be forced to change their names because we are having to push them to a new server because this server is shutting down. And like a part of me is like really like understanding about like the whole situation, because it's probably for the best, but another part of me is really kind of like angry and upset about that, where I feel like a piece of like my World of Warcraft account is getting kind of taken away from me, where I'm gonna have to name change these characters just because they're going to a server that has like already existing characters on them with like the same name. And like I wish I could continue like playing on this server, since I have played on this server since like 2019 a little bit, and you know, that's like another aspect that's like kind of being taken away, where like I'm sure people have very fond memories of the server, and like I don't have like too many memories over the last 5 years because I mostly played like by myself, but like still. So when they open up those transfers, I'll be transferring a bunch of characters over. But another like dumb thing about it is that US West is only going to have one normal realm now, where basically I have like a bunch of characters on that realm already, so it's already like filled and occupied, where the characters on this server can transfer to that realm, which like I can't do because I already have a bunch of like characters on it. Or we can go to 2 different eastern like time realms, which means I'm going to be like 3 hours ahead on the server in the future, which is just kind of like frustrating. And then there's like latency stuff too, but I kind of care more about like the time of day if I'm being a little honest. But I feel like it's kind of just like a frustrating situation for a lot of people, and like ultimately it makes a lot of sense that like they would do this type of thing, but also like we see with vanilla era, they created like battle groups or whatever, where they took all the servers and they basically have like the servers be like mega servers, basically, where like they have like they take like 5 different servers and they kind of put them together in a single battle group, so anyone on those 5 servers are playing with like the other people on those 5 servers, and it's kind of split up like US West normal, US East normal, US West PvP, US East PvP, and then like the role-playing servers are kind of still left to their own devices. And I don't fully understand why they're not doing that for Wrath of the King Classic, and I feel like it was probably because of like infrastructure costs or whatever, but still it kind of makes me a little sad. But part of me wonders, like with the Burning Crusade, I think we saw some servers, or not with the Burning Crusade, it was with the launch of Wrath of the King, I think. We saw like some servers be merged, and like you have to like transfer characters to like other servers, like so what's happening right now. So some of those vanilla era servers no longer existed at like the end of the Burning Crusade Classic, and now we're seeing the same thing again at the end of the Wrath of the King Classic, and it makes me wonder if that's going to be something that happens like at the end of Cataclysm Classic, and if we're going to merge down into like a few servers, and we're only going to have like maybe like 5 servers in like North America or whatever. But I wonder if that makes it like a lot easier for them to just transfer like the servers from whatever version of Classic WoW we're playing to the retail version of the game, because they could just add those servers into the game, into like the modern WoW version of the game.
What you need, stranger?
Can complete this, and then let's go do this. Where I really do wonder a lot about like the eventual merger with like modern WoW, if that's going to be something that ever happens. But I feel like it would just be a good like conclusion to like this whole like classic like evolution thing that like has less and less players like each month, because and like more people would just go back to vanilla WoW, where they like permanently shut it down or whatever. It'll be interesting to see the future of Classic. But yeah, overall, I'm just kind of sad about like this whole server stuff that's going on, where this character's name might be different in a future stream, but I think this character's name's reserved. It would be kind of cool with like server mergers if like the most recently like active, or like if there was like some sort of cutoff for like names or characters on like the host servers, if like the person hasn't logged in like 2 years, if like an individual that is like going onto that server could have that name or something, I think that would be cool, because I feel like the names that I have, like the people playing on the new servers that have those names haven't played in like a very long time. But then of course you just have to like keep like the host servers like character name for like a conflict between 2 character names when you merge servers, if both players are active, because that makes the most sense. But if the person hasn't played in years, I feel like it would make more sense to allow the incoming person to have the name, even if somebody on the server currently has the name, but if they haven't played in like a long time. I wonder how many people like created a character on like vanilla WoW servers and like played through like all vanilla WoW and stuff, and then as like the Wrath Lich King was coming out, the server that they were playing on like shut down, so they had to come to a new server, and they decided to go to one of the servers that is now being shut down, and they have to transfer again to a new server. So they've just been like constantly having to change servers since World of Warcraft Classic released. I feel like that's both a really fascinating thing and also a very frustrating like experience for those people. I don't think any like retail servers have been shut down, have there? But I think they all still exist from like, you know, vanilla World of Warcraft, and then they've added more and more servers over the year. But then with like the whole like server restructure stuff that's happened, I don't think there's any need to add like new servers. But like one of the big things they said about like why they're combining servers is because of the new infrastructure they developed for like Season of Discovery servers. So it's kind of interesting to see like Season of Discovery like development having like a bigger impact on the game at large. Where like I think like a big chunk of why Season of Discovery exists is to like experiment like with different things to see like how it would work in like future versions of the game, where we see that with like the World of Warcraft Rewind or Remix or whatever, with Mr. Pandaria, where we have the rune system in Season of Discovery, but they're adding a very similar type of system to the Mr. Pandaria like remix for characters to use, which basically just like lets them add like a special thing to like a special like armor thing or whatever that you can like collect from around Mr. Pandaria, and it basically just like changes your character in like a bigger way. Mixes up like a lot of gameplay stuff, I believe, which is like a big thing about runes in the Season of Discovery. So it's kind of interesting to see like the server infrastructure changes coming to like the Wrath Lich King turned Cataclysm Classic servers, and then we have like this rune system that's coming to like modern World of Warcraft. So it's kind of fun to see like all these like different experiments and like kind of like the benefit that doing like a seasonal server with like a lot of like experimentation and kind of like just studying like the analytics of like a bunch of things has on like a game that like focuses mostly not on like that seasonal aspect. Also makes me wonder about like what additional things are going to be added to like other areas of the game in the future from like Season of Discovery. And that kind of also like goes back to the whole idea of Classic Plus, I think, where like a big chunk of like the reason why Season of Discovery exists is to basically like experiment with like what they would want to have in a Classic Plus version of the game, where I wonder like if we ever eventually get like Classic Plus, I wonder like what aspects of Season of Discovery would exist in a Classic Plus version of like World of Warcraft, and like what aspects of Season of Discovery are like cut out. And like same thing with like Season of Mastery, where we see some stuff from Season of Mastery present in like the Season of Discovery, but we also see a lot of stuff like not present. Where I think we'll be seeing a lot of like the raid changes with Season of Mastery in the Season of Discovery, but I feel like they're going to have to do a lot more raid changes because of like the massive amounts of power creep in the Season of Discovery, with like all of, like the level up raids, and how like some of the bosses from like the Sunken Temple Dungeon Turn raid were more powerful than like Kill Jaden, I think, like, or had more health than Kill Jaden. which is really fascinating to have a level 50 World of Warcraft vanilla like dungeon boss have more health than the Burning Crusade like final raid boss. Hello Jordan, and bless you. Welcome to some Terracar Forest where we're beating up birdmen right now. We are unfortunately out of the mushroom zone now. But this zone is also kind of pretty in its own right. It's like a nice forest. I got like 3 of the stolen goods like super early on, and I haven't gotten another one since then. And basically what I'm doing right now is testing out a special strategy where if I just complain about something, where if I complain about not getting a drop, I'll get it. Okay, no, it didn't work. What does this do again? Okay, so this is just like Super Saiyan. Oh, this is the double damage basically, where all cat form abilities cost half as much, which is fun. I should keep behind cat form. That's probably something I should have done a long time ago. But I think with level 64, we'll unlock Blade's Edge Mountains. Or is it 65? I wish I might like fly through, but I'm definitely not going to do any exploration or like any questing in this map or in Netherstorm. I really like them. Oh, we got a stolen goods, nice. I really like the like netherworm, mana worm type of thing on the map here. Where I'm someone who's like a big fan of like maps in general, and I love like world building and kind of like map making and stuff like that. And that's kind of like a small hobby I've had since I was like a little kid, with just like making maps. And I feel like a lot of that stems from like playing World of Warcraft at like such a young age, because like all the maps are super cool, and like the map design, like the actual like maps, like looking at like a geographical overview of the area, not like maps like the areas that we are exploring in. But I feel like it's just like super cool, and I just like, here's like Outland or whatever, and this is like Sargeras or something, I don't know. But then Azeroth, and you got like the Kraken here, and the dragon, and the turtle, and the boat, and I'm dying. Health potion. We're like coming into Northrend, not there, but then you got like Delaran up here, and then like the, what they call it, Cavalier ship, or the Vrykul. Oh, we finished a quest, a Vrykul ship, and then you have the Teskar. I remember leaving World of Warcraft and like Mr. Pandaria and then returning to the game, and they really updated the Flightmaster like maps, where they added a ton of detail to how the map looks when you're like interacting with a Flightmaster, where like they really put in like a lot of like details for like the different like structures around maps and like important landmarks. And honestly, like coming back to the game, like there's not a lot about like Retail WoW that like I enjoy like too much, but that's probably like one of the things that I enjoyed the most, which is probably really dumb. Yeah, I explored a lot of like Shadowlands, and then I explored a lot of Battle for Azeroth to make like shorts about like my experience with that, where I started exploring Legion quite a bit, but I haven't done it in a while. But I'm planning on like kind of picking that up again, and I'll probably have a Legion short come out sometime soon, within the next 2 months. Let's turn this quest in. Anything good for us? Let's replace the Demon Band. Okay, now we can deliver that. ETC, I never saw them in there, but they did have the drum set, but the drum set's gone now. Where we have some quests we can actually pick up if you wanted. where actually let's pick up this quest where I was talking about the Aldor and the Scryers earlier, and I was talking about how I don't want to join them. But let's go ahead and pick up this quest where we can talk to Adal. And this is the start of that quest chain where we can go ahead and join. Oh, the moon is so pretty. Where we can go ahead and join the Aldor or the Scryers. But I'm just going to turn this in and not do the next part about it. But if you come to the center of Shadowrat City, we have Adal here that is now there, who is really, really cool. But we have Khadgar, who is one of the sons of Lothar, who, like, fun fact, he looks 80, but he's actually like 20 years old because, like, Medivh did whatever to him. Here, let's go ahead and turn this in. And I feel like, oh, that was our 500th quest. That is so fun. But I think Khadgar is, like, a really, really, like, fun character because he was in Warcraft 2 and now he is in World of Warcraft. And he is here alongside, like, Daneth Trollbane or whatever, and Honorhold, and we have Kurdan Wildhammer. And Alarian, Windrunner, and Trallian are somewhere in the universe, killing demons or whatever before they show up in Legion. But it's fun to see Khadgar here. And then, of course, Khadgar is, like, one of the main characters of World of Warcraft nowadays, where he plays, like, one of the main characters in, like, almost every expansion. He was pivotal in Warlords of Draenor. He was, like, pivotal in Legion. And, like, I'm sure he's going to play a big role in the World Soul Saga. Let's go ahead, pick up this quest so we have it. And then another quest around here somewhere. Right there. Got that? Okay. And let's head back out into Terakar Forest, where I should probably rebuff myself. But yeah, Shadowrat City is fun because we can see, like, there's a bunch of refugee children here, and then there's a Sporling refugee, where we have this entire storyline going on with Eladin Stormrage and the Eldari all across Outlands, where he's basically just, like, trying to subjugate, like, the entire population of the Outlands. And Shadowrat City kind of serves as a refuge for all the people of Outlands who have been, like, affected by Eladin and his Eldari. Where it's kind of like one of those, like, vibes or, like, storylines or aesthetics or whatever you want to say, where it's kind of like all walks of life appearing here in Shadowrat City and, like, living amongst each other, where you have, like, some ideas of, like, the lower city, which is kind of like a slummy type of area that they created. But then you have, like, the Aldor and the Scryers hanging out, and then you also have the Terrace of Light, which is really important. And those are, like, the four main parts of the city. Let's go ahead and come to Turim, or Turim, or Turam, or however you want to pronounce this name. Let's go with Turim, and we can go ahead and grab the box over here, which is kind of just continuing our explorations of this area and our investigation into that strange object over there, where we are going to see a blood elf who is a member of Kael'thas's forces, where there's, like, two big groups of blood elves, and these ones are the Fire Wing, and then I think there's also the Sun Fury. But we can go ahead and fight this one, and then we can get the seal box and go turn it in. And then I think when we turn in this quest, we'll get a new one that is going to send us to the Alarian Stronghold. So this has kind of been our introduction into, like, Terakar Forest, but we can explore a lot more of it as we get to the Alarian Stronghold, because that is, like, our main base of operations in this map, and that's where, like, most of the quests that we're going to get, that we're going to do for, like, the rest of the stream is going to be at. Got that. And let's head out of here. Or if you look at the exploration of the Outlands, we can see there's, like, this many areas in Hellfire, and then this many areas in Zangarmarsh, and then we have this many areas in Terakar Forest, which is basically kind of like the same amount, maybe a little bit more than the other two, which is fun. But if we come into questing, we have the Burning Crusade, where there's 80 in Hellfire, 54 in Zangarmarsh, and 63 in Terakar Forest. So it's kind of in between Zangarmarsh and Hellfire Peninsula, more on, like, the end of Zangarmarsh. So a decent amount of quests to do here, and we probably won't do all of them. Where we did quite a few in Zangarmarsh last stream actually, and we've already done 8. But this quest here is going to send us to the Alarian stronghold. So let's go ahead and make our way over here. Where I really like this place, and I have a lot of like memories of kind of just like hanging out here a little bit, and like when I originally like played World of Warcraft on like my first character way back in the day. And there is an item here that we are probably going to get pretty soon that I love a lot, but I'll leave it at that for now. And I guess let's just sneak over here really quickly, because we have the Horde outpost that is basically like the equivalent of the Alarian stronghold, but for Horde players. And we can see a bunch of orcs, stonebreaker peons, and there's a bad rider that's probably about to ruin my day, but I don't think I got close enough to get the experience for exploring it. Just sit here for a second. Okay, well, we uncovered it on the map at least, where we have Stonebreaker Hold. Let's go ahead and fly over this way, where we will have this area right here that we can get, which is of course the Alarian stronghold that has a burning tower on the outskirts of the city right there. But then we see a very well fortified Alliance town that was built by the individuals in Warcraft 2. And I think this is a really fun area, because this is kind of like what set off me learning a lot about like World of Warcraft lore, I think, because there are a bunch of high elves in this area, not blood elves, high elves, where we have some high elf rangers, where the high elves were members of the Alliance during Warcraft 2, and they are here because they basically joined this expedition during Warcraft 2, and they don't know what happened to Quel'Thalas, like basically like everything that like has happened since Warcraft 2 and like into Warcraft 3 and into World of Warcraft. So it's really kind of interesting to like experience them here, because they are kind of like, these are kind of like the Alliance of Lordaeron during Warcraft 2, like all the forces here, but they've kind of just like hung out here in the Alarian stronghold in the years following like their sacrifice in Warcraft 2, because when they went through the Dark Portal, they were expecting to never like come back to Azeroth, and that's been the case for like 20 years until the Dark Portal reopened again. But we have a few more quests that we can pick up. Fight a bunch of Bone Lashers, get some Olimba seeds. Lieutenant Gravelhammer, Thin Flock. We have Captain Oric Sunchaser right here, who I believe is the leader of the Alarian stronghold, because Alaria Windrunner, of course, is not present in the Burning Crusade and doesn't show up until the Legion expansion alongside Trallian, where they like joined the armies of the light or whatever, which is kind of like a resistance force against the Burning Legion, made up of like a bunch of different like alien races all across the cosmos. And then last but not least, let's go ahead right over here where we can go ahead and chat with this dwarf, and we can get the flight path in this map, which I believe is the second and only flight path in Terracar Forest, if you include Shadrath City as part of Terracar Forest, which I think it technically is. But we now have every flight path in Hellfire, in Zangarmarsh, and in Terracar. Let's go ahead and start our explorations of this entire area, where I couldn't fly there for a second, where we do have quite a few quests now that we picked up from the Alarian stronghold, and if we look at our map, it is covered with a bunch of different map markers. So let's go ahead and just run around this entire area of the world and just explore everything that is available to us. Let's try to rejuvenate Moonfire. Which we are getting really close to unlocking or leveling up to level 64, which should unlock some new stuff for us, where we could go back to Azeroth, where I have my Hearthstone here, and I can go ahead and go to our Druid Trainer, which I might actually do. Or not my Hearthstone, my Teleport Moonglade, and then we can use my Hearthstone to get back over here to Shadrath and into Terakar Forest. But let's just continue questing for now, where we will get a talent point, which is nice. Where... what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I've been going into Restoration, that's right. Right over here, we have a small horde encampment, I believe, and there's also an alliance camp nearby, which is kind of they're like kind of allies to us. We can attack them, but they won't attack us on sight, which is kind of fun. But they are basically working against like the Fell Orcs in the area right over there, and against the Blood Elves, which we have an alliance camp that is doing the exact same thing. Just pop all of our cooldowns. There's a Timber Wartail. I think largely Terakar Forest is like a pretty good zone to level in, but it doesn't last like too long. I think it's like a relatively fast zone. But we should gain quite a bit of experience. We should definitely get to at least level 65 before we start running low on quests. We're going to kill this alpha, level 64. Which means we have now been in Outlands for 6 total levels. And if we want to get to level 70, that means we are halfway there. Which I don't know if I'll stay until level 70 or if I'll move on to like Wrath Lich King areas, which I'll probably do off stream. This has been like a fun character for me to play through, because like I created this character like during vanilla, I think. And like never really played it until I started doing my hardcore series, where I want to use this character to showcase like something in my hardcore series, and now it's just a character that like I've brought back in my Let's Play series a couple of times. And now I've been streaming like all the Burning Crusade with it, and I'll stream a lot of Cataclysm with it probably. Oh, talent points. Let's go ahead and put another point into this talent where we'll become a little bit stronger, which is nice, and we'll keep 60 of our energy now when we transform into cat form, which means we are going to have a phenomenal start to like any fight. Where like in the past I've had to wait like a very long time for like my energy to build up in cat form before I could start like doing a lot of attacks and like engage the enemies, where now I'll have 60 points, and as we finish this we'll have 100 points, which is just going to be super nice to have. But instantly start with 60 right there, which means I can just start using skills right away. And it also kind of just like helps out with my DPS a little bit too, because like I have so much like extra energy at the start of a fight, where I can just like deal a ton of damage at the start instead of like having to wait for my energy to rebuild while I'm like hitting the enemy. I feel like all these quests around here are kind of just like super like, oh, you have to like run around a bunch to like collect everything. Right now I'm just looking for the Wartails and then the Seeds, and we can complete those 2 quests. And then we could go do all the Oracle ones because we have quite a few quests that we can do. Let's use our dash. Let's use this. Double damage. I feel like when I was younger, I used to like always play like as zoomed out as I could. And I think there's add-ons that you can download to zoom out even further. But I feel like nowadays, I always stay like pretty zoomed in on my character. It's kind of interesting to think about how that's changed over the years for me. I think being zoomed in is nice because you get to like see your character more and you can feel like more immersed in the world. But I guess you also see like less details, so maybe that's like less immersive. Where I think a lot of people stay zoomed out because it helps with like PvP, which like I'm always zoomed out when I do PvP. And it helps with raids on like dungeons a bit, but I don't do too many of those anymore. Where I do have a bunch of streams that I want to do where I just like run through some of the old dungeons in the game and some of the old raids and just go on some nostalgia trips. But that's probably going to be like after Cataclysm maybe, or like after my initial Cataclysm streams. I think there is a... Oh, we do have to fight these warp stalkers. So, we should probably do that. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure there's a quest where we have to fight these warp stalkers. Or I thought I checked earlier, and I didn't see the quest, but we do indeed have this quest. Where we only need to kill 10 of them. But they are kind of annoying because they do that, where they phase out, and you have to like find them, because they're basically just invisible. Blocking me so many times. But one of the big things that I want to talk about this stream is kind of just like how cool Outlands is, because we've been exploring like all these different places, and I really enjoy like Outlands as like a specific experience that you can have, where I really enjoyed playing through this like entire expansion in the Burning Crusade Classic, partially because like I never got to do it live during the original versions of the Burning Crusade, because I only got to level 55 before the Wrath of the Lich King released. And I only ever experienced the Burning Crusade as kind of old content, so I had a lot of fun coming through this entire area in the classic version of the game, just because I got to like experience it kind of for the first time, and like how all the different like in-game systems work and stuff like that. Where I think the Burning Crusade, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Where I think the Burning Crusade is actually a really phenomenal expansion for people who enjoy open world content in World of Warcraft. Where I think like a lot of vanilla World of Warcraft, when it came to the open world, it was just like the questing experience, and there wasn't a lot of stuff to do in the open world once you reach level 60 that didn't involve just like maybe like a couple of reputations that you really only ever did just for like the sake of doing them, or to get like a very specific item if you needed it for like a very specific reason. Where most of the content in vanilla like was raiding, dungeons, PvP, or preparing for like one of those three things. where I think the Burning Crusade did like a really good job with like adding like content for people to do in the open world at level 70. And this is like kind of like basically because they introduced daily quests, which I feel like is a very like difficult thing to get right, where I think there are some expansions like Mr. Pandaria where they went too hard with the concept of daily quests in that expansion. And I think some people kind of feel similar to that with like the introduction of world quests. And I think it was like with Legion and Battle for Azeroth, I think a lot of people really didn't enjoy kind of like the gameplay loop for like a lot of stuff at like the max level for each of those expansions. But with the Burning Crusade, and I also feel similarly with the Wrath of the King Classic, but I really feel this with the Burning Crusade, there's just a lot of different things you can do at level 70 when it comes to like doing professions, and then you have like special profession daily quests, and then they added a lot of like special like story like based reputations that you can do and you can progress through in the game at level 70. And I feel like there's just like in general a lot of content in the game where like the reputations are a lot more meaningful for a lot more people in the Burning Crusade compared to like vanilla WoW, because the rewards are a lot more meaningful, where you can get like a lot of mounts from different reputations in the Burning Crusade, and I think it's like always fun to just like farm those reputations, or at least like the first time you do them on like your account if you're like playing in the modern version of the game. But like with like the Shatara Skyguard and Netherwing and like stuff like that, it's always fun. And I love the Isle Quadonis, which is like the final patch zone that was added in the Burning Crusade, which is a massive daily quest hub area where I've always had a ton of fun like questing in that area. And it's kind of like one of those things where they've experimented with like some of these kind of like daily quest hubs across expansions, where I think they did a really good job with Isle Quadonis, and I think they did a really good job with Wrath of the King Classic. And then I think Cataclysm, it was mostly with like Firelands, was like kind of like the big like daily quest hub thing that they added, but there's like some daily quests like throughout like the Cataclysm expansion, of course. But I feel like Cataclysm wasn't as good at like in-game open world content. Oh, it was like Tobrad, that was like a big area too. That's a pretty cool area. But I feel like it was less enjoyable than like Wrath of the King and the Burning Crusade. And then Mr. Pandaria, everything was a daily hub. So with like all the open world content available in like the Burning Crusade at level 70, and then going from like level 60 to 70 or level 58 to 70, with like the whole questing experience of Outlands that I have been doing has been like a ton of fun. And I think it's one of the best questing experiences, if I'm being honest, which I think is an incredibly controversial opinion, where I think most people really hate the questing experience in the Burning Crusade, but I just honestly genuinely love it, and I always have a ton of fun coming through these zones. We have Fire Wing Point right here, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Get the Olimbacon. Okay. So now I need one more Timber Wargtail, and that'll be it. We have Iron Jaw right here, which we need to fight after this quest. But yeah, so the entire open world experience of Outlands and the Burning Crusade is just really great. But then when we look at dungeons and raids, I think, yeah, the Burning Crusade introduced, I don't know why I was thinking that, I know it for a fact, introduced heroic raids to the game, which is pretty big, and I don't think it's really like the system that exists in the modern version of World of Warcraft, but it kind of evolved into like the new mythic system, where I think it still kind of exists for raids, where you have like a 3-tier system for raids, which is kind of interesting. But I think that really like did a lot to help with like end game content, with end game instance content, where classic WoW, like the dungeons in classic WoW are phenomenal, but like one of their like weakest points is how most of them are meaningless at like level 60, where a lot of people like will only run them like once or twice, or in the case of Scarlet Monastery, like 300 times to level up, and then once they've leveled up, they're kind of done doing dungeons. Where I think like the action dungeons introduced in the Burning Crusade are, for the most part, like really, really fun dungeons. And like I really enjoyed like running through them like back in the day, and I kind of like just like rampaging my way through them nowadays, and I had fun with them in the Burning Crusade Classic when I ran a couple of dungeons. And then the raids of the Burning Crusade are also like really, really fun, where they had like two super like easy raids that like a lot of people could really do, that were like one boss raids, and like you see like a lot of pugs like doing those raids. And then you have Karazhan, which is another one of those easier raids that allows people to kind of get like their foot in the door for raiding, but it's also like one of the most iconic and one of the most fun raids in like the entire history of World of Warcraft. And that raid got turned into like a dungeon with like the whole like Warlords of Draenor into Legion storyline or whatever. And it's just like one of the most like popular and one of my favorite raids in the entire game, and I'm excited to kind of do it on a nostalgia stream in the future. So like open world content in the Burning Crusade was great, dungeons were great, raids were great. I think PvP was a lot weaker in the Burning Crusade and the Burning Crusade Classic, but they did introduce arenas, which is like one of the biggest things in the game nowadays. And then they added one new battleground, which wasn't my favorite battleground in the game, Eye of the Storm, but still like fun to kind of see that they added like new battlegrounds to the game. And then we got like two brand new ones with the Wrathlich Keen, and then we got like two with Cataclysm, or was it one with Cataclysm and then two with Mr. Pandaria? And then I don't know what we got in future expansions. I played some of the newer battlegrounds. I think in like Warlords of Draenor they added like a Mr. Pandaria based battleground, which is kind of interesting. So I think overall the Burning Crusade is just like a very solid expansion. Where I also really enjoy like the stories told in the Burning Crusade, and a lot of people don't like it because it feels like discombobulated, but it makes a lot of sense if you like read like the lore and kind of like read all the quest texts of this entire expansion and all the quests around here, and I think it all comes together like very nicely. Let's go ahead and do some of the Arakoa quests now, I think, where we did reach level 64, which means we did unlock the quest to go to Sylvanar and some quests around Blade's Edge Mountains, where I think most of them will unlock at level 65, but we also unlocked a ton of quests in the Grand. So I'm probably going to try to get to level 65 this stream, and we'll see how many quests I haven't done yet and I haven't completed, and we can go ahead and try to decide like how many more quests we want to do, and then I'll probably go ahead and just maybe call my explorations of Terracore Forest good once we explore like every corner for the exploration achievement. So first things first, let's get to level 65, where we could do like, I did like 3 levels in Hellfire and then 2 in Zangar, and then we'll do 2 in Terracore, and then we could do 2 in the Grand, and then maybe 2 in Shadow Moon, or just 1 in Shadow Moon. Okay, so I got that, and then okay, there's a boss down here we need to fight. I think he's in here. Yep. Let's sneak behind him, get a good opening attack. So we got one of the eyes, and then this will be one of the bosses, and then we need to fight a bunch of the Talonites and the sorcerers, and then we need to get a bunch of feathers. So maybe after this boss, let's hang out around here a little bit and try to kill some of the random Arakoa we need. Which of course we just need to fight a bunch to get feathers, so it probably doesn't matter too much that we like try to optimize our objectives here. There's just a ton of sorcerers. There's some Talonites over there. Let's deal with the sorcerer first. I think the Arakoa are like one of the more popular races in the game, and it's like one of the races that people really wanted to become like a playable race. And I think we see it a lot on like some private servers where they like implement the Arakoa as a playable race. So it'll be interesting to see if we like get them in the future. I feel like a good opportunity would have been like Warlords of Draenor. And it would be like kind of a similar storyline to like the Magheart Orcs, where it's like a playable allied race, which I guess is a specific caveat for the Horde that are from like the alternate universe version of Draenor, and they hang out with the Horde. I kind of want to play a Magheart Orc because I played a ton of an Orc like back during Cataclysm into Mist of Pandaria, and then with the with the introduction of the Wrath of the King pre-patch, I started playing an Orc again. And of course I played like other Orc characters here and there. I had an Orc Hunter that I played during like the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the King, I think, which was a lot of fun. I think Orc Hunters are just like a solid race class combo, but I haven't played it on stream or in a video. Or when have I played an Orc Hunter? Last. Maybe it's been years since I played an Orc Hunter. Maybe I should play one of those characters soon. No, I don't want to spend a lot of time like leveling up a character for an Orc Hunter just to like play it. Maybe in the long future. Maybe I can make a Magheart Hunter. Can kill a few more Talonites, and then I might head over to the other area where we do have one boss down there I need to fight, and I have barely gotten any Arakoa feathers. Where I might just not complete the Arakoa feathers quest right now, because I think we'll get more in the future. So let's go ahead and try to finish these quests first, and then I'll go turn in all the quests I have. We can also head into the Bone Waste soon. Okay, let's fly over to the next area I think now's a good time to wrap a blanket around myself. It's like one of those nice vibes of playing World of Warcraft in the evening, wrapped in a blanket. I could also get the Dranivis as well. I'm here. Since I'm passing by, let's go ahead and do this. Or can I do this while in my bird form? Oh, this is so nice. Because normally you would have to like fight everything around them, and then sometimes they spawn an enemy, or just do that. Oh, this hunter's attacked me. Cozy? It is cozy vibes. There's our Firewing Blood Elf. The hunters are kind of sniping me right now, which might be a little problematic. But it seems like we're okay. This is just one of the benefits of playing a druid character. You can interact with things while flying. I've had my whole mission or whatever where I've been trying to like decide like what my favorite class and like spec and all of World of Warcraft is, and I've been playing like each one in like a somewhat extensive playthrough, and I feel like it's going to come down to like a top 3, where I think it's definitely going to be like Frost Mage and definitely Pharaoh Druid, and then I feel like all 3 of the hunter specs are kind of the same to me, but I think Marksman might be my favorite, which is kind of like the lame answer, and then probably Retribution Paladin, but I haven't played a lot of that recently, but I just have a lot of memories with like Ret Paladin. I guess I did play a Ret Paladin in the modern version of the game kind of recently. Okay, we completed the last quest. Let's come over here. Let's find the Eye and then Ashkaz, and we can kill a few more Talonites and Sorcerers. Where there's a ton of wing guards, which we could fight to get some feathers, but let's just sneak in right here to get this. None of them saw me, and I guess we could land. I need thorns, and then let's fight this Talonite and maybe a few others around here, and we can find Ashkaz, which I think wanders but like a little further north. I only need 3 more Talonites, and there's 2 right here. These potions are pretty bad. Okay. Let's kill this one, and then let's go find Ashkaz. Or we could fight some of the sorcerers. I don't have enough energy. Oh, 2 Oracle feathers off that one. How nice. Do our little pounce. Our backstabby thing there. Feral Charge and Ravage. Those are the names. Okay. Where's our good friend Ashkaz? You're up here. That's right. Oh, I'm gonna hit that other wing guard. Okay, let's deal with you. Let's pop some of our cooldowns here. Let's try to kill him. And then let's kite this guy back here so we don't hit any of the other wing guards. And then let's kill 1 more Talonite and 3 more sorcerers. What's happening? Okay, I got stuck on the fence there. Okay, here's a Talonite. We can fight a bunch more Talonites because we kind of have to. Oh, there's some sorcerers over there. Let's go over there. I'm a third of the way done with my Arakoa Feathers quest. I really like how they have fist weapons. We just got 2 more feathers. Very nice. But I guess we could just slaughter all of them right here. But we do have to go down here to get the final boss we need for this quest. A sorcerer. 3 more of you. We're all done at the Talonites now. I think the feathers and the eyes of Skedis we turned into Shatrath. So it would be kind of nice to just turn in both of them at the same time. I really like all the random decorations in the world. Like all the books, the skulls, the candles. Got these nice braziers right here. Here's the last sorcerer I need, so I'll be done with that quest. Which I guess I should have picked up the Feathers quest before. Oh wait. It doesn't matter. I was gonna say I should have picked up the Feathers quest before I went and did all of the other, like fighting the Arakoa to get like the supplies at this one, but you can get the feathers without having the quest, and you can sell the feathers on the auction house, which is like a pretty popular trend with the Burning Crusade, I think, where you can get like a bunch of items that you can then sell on the auction house to other players, like these glow caps and then some of the unidentified plant parts we got in the last stream, and a few other items we got in the last stream too. Which I think is kind of cool because like some players can just like buy them and use them, but also, you know, there's a whole like RMT thing that kind of like makes that less fun. Need to regrowth, rejuvenation. We're halfway done with the Arakoa Feather quest. Which maybe I'll just kill a few more and then we can go try to finish it up over here. Another one is always nice. Let's go ahead. Let's pop some cooldowns. Let's tear our way through some of these. I should have done one more. There we go. Ooh, 2 off him. Just got a green BOE. Siphoning Dagger of the Owl. I think this is kind of like a thing that happens a lot, but the icon looks really, really cool, and then the actual item is a little more lame, but it does look pretty cool. Okay, let's fly over yonder. We can find more Arakoa over here. I know there's another quest to fight Arakoa right there, which I might just skip if we get it in the future. I think it's from someone in the Bone Wastes. There's none of those. Not sure. Let's just come over here and fight a bunch. Like, it would be nice to have that quest, but also whatever. We are like over a third of the way to level 65 now, which is fun. Get another talent point. 2 more talent points and we'll finish this one. So we'll start every fight with 100 energy in cat form without having to wait for it to go up. Which also means we can like heal ourselves and then go back into cat form without having to wait for the energy to come back, which is nice. A very fun and useful talent. Okay, we have the boss right here. Let's go ahead, land here. And then let's attack this dude. And can you come this way a little bit? I don't mind fighting a bunch of Arakoa, but I would like to make this specific fight a little bit easier. Let's tag him because he's all alone. Finish him. There we go. Nice. And we have 19 feathers now. So I guess I'll fight a few more. And then I'll see how I'm feeling after a few more. And we can decide to continue fighting some of the Arakoa for feathers, or we can leave and maybe come back later to finish this quest up later. I'm now officially 2/3 complete. I could do the PvP event in this area because it seems like there isn't a single person who's doing it. I guess one person captured one of the towers. Who and Terracar? Oh wait, that's 1R. I am the only Alliance player in Terracar Forest right now. But that doesn't mean that there's not Horde players around. There's a reason the server has been proclaimed as dead and people are being forced transferred off of it. I wonder what I'll name my characters that I got like the special name for on like launch day in vanilla World of Warcraft in 2019, and I'm going to be forced to change their names. Wonder what I'll name them to. Okay, I think I'll come back in a bit. So let's go turn in this quest over here. And then we have a bunch of quests over here we could turn in. And then we'll see what we get from turning these in. But I think I'll go fight the Bone Chewers. And then we can go do the Firewing Point stuff. The little art of a doll, or just a basic doll. I've always pictured it as a doll. Oh, there's a person here in Shatrath. Level 66 Blood Elf Hunter. I'm the only Alliance player in Shatrath though. Let's turn in the Eyes of Sketis. Let's get the healing potion. Oh yeah, this quest takes us out to the Bone Wastes. So maybe let's go over there on our way towards the Illyrian stronghold. Throw the healing potion on my bar. Oh, I had 2 of those there. I feel like I put the volatile healing potion there last stream, and then like I was looking for it just now and I didn't see it, so then I put it onto the bar again, right next to the one I put last stream. That's awkward. Or maybe I did something different. Either way. Shouldn't have 2 right there. Though I did have a bunch on like my hardcore characters, but you know, what did that do for me? So let's head to the Bone Waste, which is really cool because Terracar Forest is a zone that like looks the same all throughout, but then the Bone Waste is a very specific area of the map that's like completely different than everything else. It's kind of like the Shimmering Flats for 1,000 Needles. But we have the refugee caravan here with a bunch of Shatar and lower city individuals. So let's go ahead and turn in this quest. This quest is going to take us to attempt to purify the dark stone of Turok. So I guess we could do that. Missing friends. Okay, so we have 2 quests that are taking us over to that veil. So good thing that I didn't spend a ton of time trying to collect a bunch of the feathers. Okay, so I just picked up a bunch of quests for the Bone Waste, but let's come back this way. And let's do these quests. I'm just not going to do what I said earlier. What do I need? Channel a light into the dark stone of Turok. Rod of Purification. That's like Dartal's Rod of Purification. It's fun. Or is it called something else? Dartal's Rod of Transformation, not Purification. A very fun item that transforms you into a Furbolg. Okay, I need to mark the wild, Thorns, Cat Farm. I don't think I have any like silences really in cat form. I have a stun in bear form, which is useful. Oh yeah, the prison keys. I need to get a bunch of those. So first things first, let's just go ahead and clear out to this area right here. And let's complete this part of the quest. And then we should have some keys that we can use to free the children around here. And then we can just spend however much more time we need to get more keys. And then we should be close to finishing the Feathers quest at the end of this. So we can just kill a few more in order to finish that. These people really love healing each other, and then like I fight this one and he heals himself, and then I deal more damage, and like what happened right now, this other person heals him, so I have to like fight through 2 heals. Let's use a healing potion. Finish him off. Moonfire and then back into count. I guess I could do that too. Where I have this old belt, which is really outdated now, and I haven't upgraded all my gear with Outland's gear yet. All my questing greens. Okay. Let's use the rod. Accidentally open the quest log. I think this is going to lead to a fight. Or we just do the rod thing there. There we go. Attempt to purify. Looks like it destroyed it or whatever. So let's come free some of the prisoners. Which we cannot do in our flight farm. So we do have to land on the ground for that. But that's okay, because I still need to fight a bunch more of these different Dreadhawks and other enemies. Okay. I think there's 4 in this one, so we'll be half done with the quest. I think typically you only have to open like 4 of the different cages. We have our key ring here, where we got the key to Searing Gorge, which I did before we came to Outlands. And then we have a bunch of the prison keys here that we can use. Just spam Moonfire like a bad druid. Okay. We have a ton of keys and we only need like the 3 we have. So that's 6. There's the 1 cage up there. But I think I'd rather find other ones. Where are there only the 3 cages, I guess? I guess so. Oh, I'm in combat. Okay. You come attack me. Or don't. Just shoot me from afar, I suppose. We can fight this boss again. A good opportunity to get some feathers, I suppose. Oh, there's so many children in this one. How many? Is this 6? 6 children in there. So we just completed that quest. So we just need 2 more feathers. And then we can return to the Bone Wastes to turn in those 2 quests. And then maybe I'll teleport to Moonglade. We can train, and then I can Hearthstone back to Shagrath. We can turn in the Feathers quest, and then we can return to the Alarian Stronghold. Okay, 1 more feather. We're also almost out of rested experience. Which I had quite a bit of rested experience. When was the last time I streamed? 4 days ago, so 5 days ago, because it's about to be 5 days ago. So I had 5 days of rested experience, which I think is like half of the maximum amount you can get.
It's too far away.
What's that? Oh, we just got an extra Oracle feather that I can just sell in the auction house, I suppose. And then we got 2 more of the prison keys, which I think are about to be deleted from our inventory, but we don't need them for any reason. Oh, we have the private week stuff too. Just so many quests we can do. How many have we done so far? 15? This turned in these 2. Then we can go fight those. Hello, Ethan. Got a battered steam talk controller. Summon and control your steam talk. Last 30 seconds. Only 10 charges. Probably only use this once. So here we go. We got our steam talk, like a remote. Oh, shoot. Well, anyways, we could have shot it and stuff. Okay, let's teleport to Moonglade. Let's go to the trainer. It's about to be off cooldown again. Yeah. This toy has seen a lot of love. It probably won't last much longer. But we can shoot with a cannon. We've got mortar, drop mine, nitrous boost. 10 mana per second increases movement speed by 50 or 50%. So just fun. I pressed escape there, and that knocks you out of it. And I accidentally pressed escape earlier. Okay, here's our druid trainer. There's another druid player right there. Wrath, Moonfire. Let's just learn everything. Oh, we got Life Bloom. Okay, so all of the abilities automatically get replaced on your bar, but not the spells. Our Moonfire rank 11, Wrath rank 9 thorns, rank 7. And let's go to Shadowwrath. Then healing touch, rank 12. Rejuvenation, rank 12. There we go. And then we unlocked Life Bloom, which I probably won't have on my bar, because what's the point? Heals the target for 224 over 7 seconds. When Life Bloom completes its duration or is dispelled, the target instantly heals himself for 480, and the druid regains half the cost of the spell. This effect can stack up to 3 times on at the same target, which actually is kind of, might be nice for us to have, just for, so we can use it on ourselves. Do we get mana back from, oh, we do get mana back from, okay, that's kind of nice. We can have that on our bar right there. And it stacks 3 times. So does it just, oh yeah, it heals us for more. And then are we about to get like a ton of mana back? Wow. That's actually kind of a nice spell. Oh, I just like went through the floor there or something. Okay. Let's turn in this quest. We got the Outcast's Cache. And this is a quest that we can turn in a bunch of times for experience. Where we got a blue BOE. Do we get the cache every time we do this? Hold on. Now I'm curious. Oh, hiccup. More feathers. Oh yeah, you get it every time. We got a super healing potion, School of Spirit, some lower city reputation, and then this cool thing that will probably not be able to be sold on the auction house because nobody's playing on the server. So let's go ahead, now that we're done with all of that. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to do in Shadowwrath, though there are some other quests that we could do if we wanted. But let's come talk to Private Weeks, where we have some quests around Grangolvar village that we can do. Grangolvar. Kind of sounds like Bovar, 4-dragon. Can put on our new rank 7 thorns. We have Mark of the Wild there. And now we have to run around. Can we go on our Frost Saber mount? We cannot. Hello, Private Weeks. I need another disguise. Okay. So I think we're just infiltrating this area and we can chat with a couple people. But we do have to be careful of like someone that can detect us, I think. And then after this quest, we can fight a bunch of the enemies around here. And then we can go back to the Alarian stronghold. So, oh yes, the shadowy hunter can see who we are. So let's avoid him. Where's the shadowy laborer? Hello Ryan, hope you're doing well. I'm just doing some casual exploration of Terracar Forest from the Burning Crusade. And here's a shadowy initiate. What are you doing here? And then a shadowy advisor. And we have Shadow Master Grieve. Advisor, what's the latest news? And then let's run out this way. Shadowy Hunter. You can just keep walking there. Just keep walking. And oh no. Where's the laborer at? Wait, he hasn't caught me yet. He hasn't ran up to me. Can I keep... Oh, I'm about to run out of space to run from. Okay. We ran far enough away. He like got suspicious of us, but didn't fully catch us. Okay. Shadowy target. Shadowy laborer. Okay, so there is one that exists where targets go. Where are? Oh, you're all the way over there. Let's chat with this dwarf. And we completed that. Where we have Scout Nephthys right there. That is the Horde counterpart for the quest giver right here, who's investigating this area.
You need something? See you around. For the Alliance.
Now we can fight a bunch of executioners, summoners, and the Shadow Master. So I guess we can just work our way in from one angle. I was thinking about like flying in and we could do the Shadow Master first and then work our way out. But I feel like it might just be easier if we just start fighting a bunch of things. Fighting the succubuses or succubi or whatever is gonna be a little annoying, I think. A lot of executioners right here. I think I'll work my way to the Shadow Master first, and then we can just like run around the outside areas. I should heal here. I love WoW. Thanks for the nostalgia. Druid Rules subscribed. Thank you very much. I've been enjoying playing a Druid character a lot. Where I really enjoy Pharaoh. But I played some balance in like vanilla WoW Classic, which was actually kind of fun, even if it's like a little bit weak. And then I want to play like more Restoration, but like I haven't been like super into like group content recently. I've been mostly enjoying like questing and like just exploring the open world. But I might do more Restoration in the future. I've also really enjoyed coming through Terracar Forest, where I've been coming through like all the Outlands recently, and there's a bunch of enemies right here. And I've just been exploring the Outlands like pretty in depth in the last few streams. Let's heal there. Okay, let's use this cooldown. This is like a gnome but has the leopard gnome voice lines. That's fun. Okay. I don't know why this other summoner didn't attack us, but it's probably for the best. But yeah, I've just been enjoying the Burning Crusade a lot. Or I enjoyed it a lot back in the day. I enjoyed it in Burning Crusade Classic, and I still like coming through all these zones. I know this tends to be kind of like an unpopular expansion when it comes to like the questing experience, especially compared to like a lot of like the modern World of Warcraft expansions. I think a lot of people really enjoy questing there, but I just honestly enjoy the Burning Crusade for whatever reason. Getting close to 65, which is nice. Like 3/4 of the way there. Okay, let's clear the summoner. And then I think there's a summoner in this big room with the Shadow Master and then the advisor as well. So maybe let's heal up and go into stealth so I can get a good opening. Okay, there is the summoner there. What's the best course of action? Maybe the advisor first. We can kill these two. And then I could go fight the summoner. Looks like I was able to pull them without attracting those two's attention. I do still have the laborer marked with the skull, so I just see the skull walking through the wall. Okay. I think I'm almost done with the executioners. Yeah, I just need 3 more. I still need, after this one, 5 more summoners. And I feel like they're kind of just scattered around this entire area, so you really have to like work your way through. Okay, let's head back outside. I guess we could kill the initiate. And then the summoner right here. There's some summoners down this way. There's the one right there. Just a bunch of executioners. Which I don't mind fighting the executioners because, you know, experience is experience after all. Okay, fight the minion. My thorns is almost up. Okay, clear this executioner and then we can get to that summoner. And then we'll be almost done with this quest, which I think the next quest takes us to the Alarian Stronghold again, which I have quite a few quests to turn in, which probably means we'll be level 65 soon, which was my primary goal for this stream. But I still have a few different quests around Terracotta I would like to do. But maybe we could spend some time running around the Outlands and kind of going through Blade's Edge and Netherstorm, which I did on my warrior character a few months ago. But we can just kind of explore all the nooks and crannies of that map to get the achievement. Because when Cataclysm comes out, I kind of want to do like the Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms exploration achievements. The Shadow Labor is just walking around hammering the ground. But I like to do those exploration achievements, and then I could do the Northrend exploration achievement as well, and then I'll have whatever the title is. I come in here. Exploration. The Explorer. You can also get the Tabard of the Explorer. And we could do Lore Master if we wanted. We have completed 20 quests in Terracotta so far. There's a summoner that just walked right there. This might be a good one to kill, and then you have the one right here. So that would finish up the quest. Oh, there's one down there too, actually. So let's come fight this dude. And we need one more executioner. There's the one right in front of the gate dude over there. Someone just flew above. There's another player in Terracotta. Oh, there's 2 people here. The server is so alive. Let's dash over here. Oh, there's 2 of them. Let's come back this way. Can I? Okay, I just, oh, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, this worked out pretty decent. Let's pop this cooldown. Let's kill the summoner. And then the succubus should be dead. And then you can finish off the executioner, and that's our quest. There we go. Okay, up and away. Oh, this quest we just take back to the Illyrian stronghold. I thought we like turned it in and then we went over. So let's fly over there. Don't forget to drink some water. So I guess we could turn all of these in, and then we could look at the areas on the eastern end of Terrakar, and we could finish that up. And then I might come do a couple of things around the Bone Waste, but I might just get like a little bit of the way into 65, and then I might just start exploring a bunch of stuff. Or do I have quests that like take you to Nagrand? I feel like there would be one here at the Illyrian stronghold. Okay, let's turn in this quest, which I talked about like an hour and a half ago actually, because as you turn this in, we get this helmet, which is actually not that good compared to what we currently have. Where I think this is the best one. But yeah, I don't think it's... We lose attack power but gain strength. Increases attack power by 188. So let's take this. Where's our attack power? Not base stats, melee. And then power there. Oh, sounds like the same, but this one looks a lot cooler because it looks like that. And I don't know why, but I've always had a lot of nostalgia for like this item in World of Warcraft, like completing that quest and getting this helmet. Let's come turn in this quest. Invincible stave. Increases attack power. Oh, it looks super cool. Okay, same issue. I don't think this is better. It's still cool. Oh, and we just leveled up to level 65 from the flock. Okay, so we've completed a lot of quests here now. And let's come over here and do Unruly Neighbors. And then I think that'll lead to another quest. And we can also do all the Firewing Point stuff. Where there is an escort that we could do. I'll decide if I want to do it later. Put in the talent point. But let's fight all of these peons. Where we need 12, and we'll probably fight some of these devastators. And I'm willing to bet a wolf is going to wander in here that we'll have to fight as well. The devastators is for like a future quest. Here's one of the devastators, and a backbreaker is wandering over here. I think there's more quests here for Horde players, maybe? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of as well. I feel like this quest leads to another one. We'll see soon. Oh, here's one of the wolves. Let's try to kill the peon, and then maybe we can get a proc. There we go. Use that. Okay, this life bloom is actually very nice. I like looked down upon it when I like first looked at it, but then I remembered like using it in the past, and then I tested it out on Shadow Wrath and I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool. An underrated spell. Underrated by past me. Okay. Peon. Nice. So that's 5 out of 12. I'll have to come. Oh, hello. Let's go stealth, dash. Just make our way over here. We're running away. I'm gonna try to attack or attract the attention of other orcs around here. Let's fly up here, and we can skip past those enemies right there, and we can land right here where there's only the peons. And then we need 4 more. Okay. Oh, you're running away so early. Okay. Oh, they have an alliance tank from like Illyrian Stronghold or whatever. I wonder if Bone Chewer Ruins was a location in like Warcraft 2 or like the book. That like represents like an area for like one of those pieces of media.
It's too far away.
There we go. Completed that quest, which we're turning over here. Which I think there's something right here. Oh no, it's not. It's just over there. Oh, a bunch of Bone Chewer Marauders making their way to Shadowmoon Valley. And a Bone Chewer Messenger, which I wonder. Let's do a little research. Bone Chewer Messenger. Classic. Wow, is this dude important for anything? Looks like no relation to any quest. They're just a random like road event that happens. But like, you just run along there and suddenly there's 5 orcs running past you.
What brings you here?
Okay, here's the 2 quests. So let's go back this way, and we can go fight. Is the R kind of messed up right there? That's right. But we can fight the Firewing Liaison. And then we can find a bunch of the other orcs around here. And there's a bunch of peons, but we don't need them. I guess just annihilate everything in this area. It'll be like the same thing to Grangovar, I think. I'll make my way into this keep. It's like the same asset or whatever as the one in Grangovar. And then we can defeat the boss in there. And then just come back out here and clean up what we need. Maybe grab this backbreaker really quick. It is nice playing on a server that's relatively dead though, because I'm not fighting over all these mobs like you do on super active servers. Should have the boss in here. Is there like a named orc as well? Oh, there's the felt orc plans. Is that backbreaker gonna come for me? Okay. Let's get the last point. And then I'll get a proc here to heal. Unlike the peons, these two do not run away. Okay. Azael Fireweaver. There's another backbreaker right there. Okay. Oh, she like stunned me and then ran a little bit. Got a Firewing Signet. And then I have a new stack another week. I'm about to get it. Okay, so 5 more Devastators and then 4 more Backbreakers after this Devastator. Get the Fill Orc plans. Okay, let's head out here. We're half done with killing all of the Fill Orcs around here. But we got that quest picked up and the other quest completed. There's a ton of backbreakers right here. But I need a few more Devastators than I need backbreakers. Let's go grab this one. Just back up a little bit. Okay, 2 more of each. This might be a good group to fight down here. There might be like one extra backbreaker that I need to fight. But as I said earlier, in Grangovar, experience is experience. There's actually just a peon right there. But there's a backbreaker out there that I can fight. Or devastators, rather. He kicked me and walked away. Or maybe... I don't know. Did the liaison do that, or did the Bone Shear Orc do that to me earlier? I mean, the liaison definitely like walked away from me, but did she kick me? Maybe they all do that here. Okay, just one more Devastator. This looks like a good one to fight. And then maybe I'll run into the Alarian Stronghold really quickly and we can turn in this quest. Okay, and then I have the other two quests I can go turn in. But let's just dip over here really quickly. Bertilm.
How are you? Have a good one. See you around.
Do that. Okay. I was wondering maybe that leads to something. I just love all the like units around here. I got Alarian Defenders, Alarian Horsemen. You got, oh, these are like not actual NPCs, they're just like props or whatever. Repairing the tower. High Elf Ranger. Got this fun little hallway we can fly through in the tower. Okay, back this way. Let's go turn in these two quests. We've completed 27 quests now at Terracar. I think we're completing like less and less each stream. Did 41 in Hellfire, then 38 in Zangar, and now we're at 27, but I doubt we'll get to 38 before I'm done in this area. Oh, my stomach. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do this escort quest. I feel like I don't want to.
I am listening. Hello.
Or maybe the final quest that I will do is just attack on Firewing Point, where there is a few more. Oh, we got the Blood of Music playing. How nice. I feel like I kind of just want to do a little bit of exploration after this. Maybe we'll do a couple more after. I'll see what I feel like. I love the Blood Elf music in this area though. It is a Blood Elf town after all. Yeah, I think we've explored most of Terracar Forest now. So we have Regrowth, Rejuvenation, and Life Bloom, which is 3 different hots on me. Heal over times. I guess it would be faster to like get out of cap form and then go back in to like regrow, re-get. Oh, not when you're in combat. Okay, how about when you're out of combat? So I was at like 25. Oh, huh. I'm not sure how it works. Can we get a proc here for an instant heal? Silenced me, how rude. I am excited to explore more Blood Elf areas in the future. I want to go through all Quel'Thalas. It'll be interesting to see how they change Quel'Thalas too with like the Midnight's expansion. I really enjoy the Berserk skill. It's so much fun. You can just do so many attacks while it's up. Twice as many, I suppose. For Quel'Thas. Okay, maybe let's come into the center area here where we have this giant mana bomb. And we can fight some of the warlocks that are channeling whatever they're channeling here into it. This is kind of a sticky situation to be in. Let's come this way. Let's hide right here. Let's try to heal up. Okay, I think this is a good area to be in. Try to kill these two right here. And then one warlock left. And then perhaps these two. And then maybe... Is there a warlock? A lone warlock in this building? There is. Oh. Whoops. Oh, the shadow bolt's gonna hit me. Okay. Let's go ahead and heal right here. And drop down this way. And we can fight some of the defenders, and then we need some more of the blood warders. And then we can fight that last warlock in there too. Oh, there's probably a warlock in this building. There's a bunch of blood warders and a defender up there. 3 more blood warders. This defender came to attack me too. So I'll need 1 more of each of them and then 1 more warlock as well. So almost done with the quest. Let's cast Thorns. Didn't realize I was out.
Not enough energy. Not enough energy. Not enough energy. I'm out of range. Can't do that. Not enough energy.
So let's get this blood warder right here and then the warlock in there. And then I see a defender right there. This is really cool. Whatever this is. It's like a cauldron or something. Hollow defender. They also have some fortifications around here too. They got this ballista and then they have a few wall, like spike fortification thingies. Okay, off this way where we can turn in this quest. We could do escape from Firewing Point, which will take us back to Orc Sunchaser, but is also like kind of an annoying quest, but is also a Cenarian expedition quest too. Okay, let's go ahead and get the final code because that's kind of like the finale of this quest chain. Where we have this entire area here filled with blood elves that we would have to escort Ice the Star main through. But this is what this area looks like. And I think I'm going to skip that quest. It'll be like the only quest in this entire area of Terracar that I don't do. But we can take the Orb of Translocation to translocate up here. Which I'm just going to fly up to the end. Where we see a really cool blood elf here. Pathalon the Calculator, who's a blood elf we could have seen in Hellfire Peninsula, but I didn't do that quest actually. And I think we see this blood elf a few more times across Outlands, and we see some like other blood elves as well who are doing some different things in different areas of the Outlands, and they're all of Kael'thas's advisors, and you actually fight them during the fight against Kael'thas, which is really cool. The Kael'thas fight is really interesting because like you have like Kael'thas that you have to fight, but then you also have to fight like the advisors one at a time, and then all 4 advisors at the same time, and then you also fight like all the advisors' weapons, and then you can pick up the weapons to fight Kael'thas, and they're like legendary weapons. It's very interesting. I'll probably do it sometime in the future. Okay, can I just sneak in? Okay, I'm gonna have to fight all of them. Let's get back up here. Shadow bolts are just messing me up. Okay, let's drop down right here. And then let's go into cat form. And then let's come over this way. We can just fight this warlock and then maybe the other 2. And then we might end up having to fight a bunch of other warlocks around here. The Isla Star main quest is also marked as a group quest, so we should probably just avoid it for that reason as well. But I think you can technically solo it. It's just a group quest because it's so challenging to like fight through all the enemies around here. this warlock just respawned. Okay. Guess I'll fight you too. Okay. Now can we use the final code? Inputting the final code. So they were like prepping this mana bomb and they were going to use it somewhere. I forget. But we can go ahead and put in the final code to use it prematurely. We're just going to blow up firing point, and it's kind of going to cause like the same amount of devastation that happened here that happened over at Cenarian Thicket, and we just see that all of these firing warlocks around here just died. So probably good riddance to them. Yeah, looks like the quest doesn't tell us what they would have used the mana bomb for, but it's probably for the best that we just destroyed, no matter what. But I think that's the final quest that I'm going to do, because I want to spend some time just doing some exploration, and then we could Hearthstone back to Shadrath.
I am on.
So this is kind of a cool hood, but so is this current helmet we have. So let's get this Edge of Inevitability, which is kind of a cool axe. Letting Earthbinder Tavgrin know. We can go ahead and turn in that quest on the way out. Or I actually wanted to check. I forgot to read the quest text there, so let me Google it. The final code. Completion. Oh, I want the Alliance version of this quest. Hold on. I don't know why I'm bothering with this. Okay, there we go. Completion. You saved the Illyrian stronghold. Okay, so nothing there about any of that. And then, yeah, so it doesn't really say where it would have been used. But here we have a very cool area known as Sketis, where we explored the Skethel Mountains. And this is a level 70 area. And you can see that this is a bunch of Arakoa stuff. And this is all just some pretty important things for the Shatari Skyguard. Where there's an elite water elemental right there. But we have Terok's Rest, which is fun. We have the Ancient Skull Pile, which is important to fight like the Shade of Terok or whatever. You got a terrible dark energy emanates from this pile of skulls. But yeah, this is just a big kind of like daily quest hub area. Where there's really only like 2 daily quests here. But you can come here to do those daily quests and a quest chain and some other like standalone quests to help out the Shatari Skyguard. Which we got the Shatari Skyguard right here.
You got my attention. Watch your back.
And I think this is their main base of operation, or at least like their main like outpost, because I suppose Shadrath would be their main base of operation. But they are also located in the Blades Edge Mountains. So with quests, we completed 31 quests in Terakar Forest. So we went from 41 down 3 to 38, and then we just went down 7 more to 31, or 10 more from Hellfire. But I feel like we completed quite a few quests around the Terakar Forest. But if you come into exploration here, let's check this out, where we have all of these different places that we can explore. Where I think when it comes to Terracore Forest as a whole, the Bone Wastes and like Auchendoon are like pretty cool areas, but I don't have a lot of nostalgia with these areas. There's a giant like undead dragon somewhere around here. The skybox is really, really cool. But yeah, I just don't have a ton of nostalgia. And I do think the quests around here are like a little bit less fun compared to like the other quests in Terracore. Which, to be fair, I haven't done them on stream, but I don't think I'm going to do any of these quests. Which I think I'll go ahead and abandon all of these ones. Got the derelict caravan, and then let's just keep going around this area where I think all of the areas in Terracore I need are right here, and then there's one additional area over there that I need to get, which is kind of like the introductory quest area for the Shatari Skyguard. We have some more of the Shatar here at the Shatari base camp. Let's come off this way, where we have an Arakoa camp here, and then I think there's also an Orc ruin over here, and then another Arakoa camp. Got some Lithic Talon guards for Vale Lithic. Oh, and then we have the Bleeding Hollow ruins right here. I'll just come over here a little bit. Here's the ruins. You can see one of the old orc encampments here on Draenor that now just have a bunch of boulder fist invaders. We're thinking about like ogres on Outlands is really interesting because like we have like the whole continent that was filled with ogres that are located like southwest of the continent of Draenor. So it's kind of interesting to think about like what happened to that continent, and then however many other continents existed on the planet of Draenor when it got ripped apart by Ner'zhul. Let's come explore this Vale over here. Then we can go into the center, I think. There's a lot of areas that I need to explore. And I feel like I'm not sure where exactly they are. Vale Rays. Oh, that's like a very small chunk of this area. It's interesting. I think there's a spot right here that we can get. It's like the Rhythm or Shadow Tomb. There we go. Okay, Akanai Grounds. I think those are right here. Yeah, there we go. And then into the center is Auchendoon. Wish we're missing one. Oh, I know what we're missing. Here's the Ring of Observance. This is just a really cool area. Very important for Draenei lore, and there are 4 different dungeons in here, which are cool. We have this very cool owl statue right there. Very interesting. And I think up here is like another area that's kind of important for like the Shatari Skyguard quests. Lake Jorun. Minion of Sarthis. Interesting. This is kind of a fancy area right there, with Sarthis inside of it. What is it that you want? To leave. So let's go ahead and leave. So that is all the Auchindoun area, and then some different parts of Terrakar Forest on the outskirts. And oh, I deleted the one quest I need to turn in. Let's fly back to Leolarian Stronghold. I'm dumb. Let's go pick this quest up again. Wish I should actually probably clean my inventory out a little bit. Got some light feathers. Oh, I could have been using those, but I keep forgetting. Let's fly down into the Leolarian Stronghold. Might hold on to the staff just for fun. I have so many light feathers from fighting all of the Arakoa, however you pronounce their name. And then so this quest right there.
How may I help? Farewell. What brings you here?
Okay, so let's go ahead, fly north. Can hit the last two areas, turn this quest in, and then let's go do some quick running around of Blade's Edge and Netherstorm. Should be fun. So Razorthorn Shelf is kind of like the transition area into Hellfire Peninsula, where we have this area in the southwestern corner of Hellfire, which I'm not sure if it has a name actually, or if it shares the name. But we can come over here, nearby Vale Shianor, or however you pronounce that, Shianor. Who knows? We have a broken hut over there, or two of them actually. But we have Razorthorn Shelf. Exploring. You get 1,050 experience just for exploring it. Let's come into Razorthorn Trail is what it's called on this side. Interesting. But it's kind of just a cool like transition area that has a bunch of Ravagers all around on the Hellfire end of things. You can see some Razorfang Hatchlings and some Razorfang Ravagers. But let's fly back this way, because I really like these two like broken huts right here. Broken as in like the broken Draenei. They seem to be in good shape. But let's go down to the Cenarian Thicket, because we can complete this quest, turn it in. And I think that's kind of like the main quest chain in Terrakar. I mean, there's obviously like a bunch of different quest chains, but I think it's like, you know, you start at the Cenarian Thicket, you figure out some things here, you go to Shadrath, and you go to the Leolarian Stronghold, and then you launch a siege on Firing Point, and then you come back and turn this in, and it's like full circle. But of course, you got many other things, like all the quests down here around Auchindoun. Can let the Earthbinder know. And nothing too important for us. It's kind of a cool helmet. Got Cenarian thickened leg plates. We can turn that in, and we are over halfway to level 66. Over 50% of the way. But I think that is now officially the final quest that I'm going to complete in Terakar Forest. So let's go ahead and fly over this direction. Where we can go ahead and come up this way, where I believe this is like a big ogre base that you come to when you're joining the Shatari Skyguard. When you join the Shatari Skyguard, you like come over here to Sketis, and then you go to this area in Blade's Edge. But this is kind of your initiation, where you have to fight all the ogres that are kind of threatening Shadrath City. And with exploring this area, we get 1,000 experience, but we also get the achievement to explore Terakar Forest. And we have a bunch of level 71 Gorduni all around here. Yeah, I kind of remember this area a lot and have some memories of this spot for whatever reason, some nostalgia. But that is everything in Terakar Forest, including Shadrath City, explored, and I think that is basically everything that I wanted to do in that zone. So we can go explore a couple of other things, but I think next stream we can go ahead and start our adventures in Nagrand. So we've done Hellfire, Zangarmarsh, Terakar. I've done a lot of Blade's Edge and Netherstorm on other streams, and then we can explore some Nagrand, and then eventually some Shadowmoon Valley. Where when we were leveled up to level 64, we unlocked a few quests in Blade's Edge Mountains and in Nagrand, but as we reach level 65, we've unlocked several more quests. So we can go ahead and just start exploring all of this a little bit. Where I explored some of Nagrand and like some of Blade's Edge on like another stream I did, but that stream got deleted, I think. And I wanted to come check the calendar. Oops, I tapped out. Check the calendar here. So the next big event coming up is Children's Week. And we also got Call to Arms Outtrack Valley, which might be interesting to do. But I don't know if I'll do either of those on stream. But let's go ahead and come into Blade's Edge Mountains. So there are like these two tunnel entrances, one at the Orbital Harborage and then one right here. That's kind of close to Swamp Rat Posts that take you into the mountains, but we can also fly over the boundary here and get into this area, which is fun. And I guess I'll try to just zigzag around, and we can maybe get like the flight paths and stuff. Now that we're over the peaks, we can definitely see why it's called Blade's Edge. Which is kind of just like another one of those examples of like Outlands being like a continent and like an area that just really has like super unique zones that like you don't see like anywhere else in World of Warcraft really. And like it works really well given like what Outlands is as an area. But this is kind of a fun spot because it's like a very night elven area, and I've been playing a night elf, We also got like the veil over there. Let's come into here. And we have a ton of quests that we could pick up if we wanted to. But I am going to ignore all of them. And I have some nostalgia with this place as well. But as like a horde character, I remember hanging out over here and talking to somebody about like role-playing stuff. Like a long time ago, which is a really weird memory to have. But like I remember like standing like or like floating in the air on like my flying mount, like right over there, kind of just like looking at like the flight master and like talking about like some role-playing stuff. I think I was talking about like sending messages like out of character, like you would do it like inside parentheses or whatever. And then like emotes are like with asterisks, which is, I think that's kind of like the go-to nowadays. So it was revolutionizing the concept back in the day. But those were probably like normal standard things anyways back then. We have a massive forge camp right here with a bunch of level 71 enemies. And this is another one of those areas related to the Shatari Skyguard. And we are getting attacked by the Legion of Fell Cannons. So let's come over here where we have a bunch of Apexis crystal stuff with the Vortex Pinnacle. And we can go ahead and discover Ogrila, which is a community of ogres around this area of the world, which is really fun. And they're actually a fully fledged reputation, but I feel like they're one of the least popular reputations in the entire game, where a lot of people don't like reaching exalted with them. Got Kronk. But like a big thing is with like these ogres. Is he supposed to be floating in there? It kind of makes sense that he would be. But like a big thing with like these ogres is like Torque right here, who wants to join the Shatari Skyguard, who have a camp right over here. And they're kind of doing their own thing, dealing with all the demons around here. So we have a bunch of places we need to explore. Chartul's transporter. That Chartul in the middle there. Let's come up over this way. We've got Forge Camp Wrath, Forge Camp Terror, and Forge Camp Wrath on either end. Got the Fell Reaver right there. We can come down here. We got Black Scale and some more ogre stuff, I believe. And there's also the Worm Cult Zealots over there. And I think this is kind of just like an interesting area that I really don't have a lot of memories of coming to this place. But we've got like all these ogres, and then I think, are these ogres over here? I mean, it's ogre structures. Boulder Mock. Boulder Mock brutes and shamans. It is indeed ogres. Ravenswood Leafbeard. But I think there's another veil over this way. I actually remember being in this area in modern World of Warcraft, actually, like pretty recently. Treble. There's trouble in the woods. We must uncover its source before it is too late. My stomach keeps making noises. I think I've done a lot of talking. But we've got Grishnath here. And then we have a massive tunnel that will take us into Blade's Edge again. Can we fly through this tunnel? Or is it going to dismount us? Wormskull tunnel. Looks like we're doing okay. Though we are getting shot at. And there are bats in here, which is fun. But the bats don't like attack us, they're just decoration. But I really like the bats, like flying through the cave. Expedition Wardens. and some wisps. And we have a bunch more of the Cenarian expedition, because over here, of course, is one of the Cenarian expedition outposts, which is the other area that I was talking about earlier. I guess let's come over here, grab the flight path. But the big thing about like this area of the world is kind of like the black dragon flight, because of course Deathwing came into Outland during like Warcraft 1 or Warcraft 2 or something, and then he did a bunch of things in the Outlands before returning to Azeroth. And there's a bunch of black dragonfly stuff going on here, and he has a bunch of like his brood around here that the Gron hunted down and killed, which is like a big part of like the decorations of this map, at least in this like upcoming area over here, where we will see Gruul's Lair, which is one of those like pretty easy to get into raids that I talked about a long time ago now, a couple hours ago. Or is it a little further south where you can see a bunch of them? But we've got Gruul's Lair. Explore that. And then I guess we could just come up here really quickly and then loop back around. Favor of the Gron. Deliver Gorgrom's favor to Commander Hafus Stonewall at Evergrove and the Blade's Edge Mountains. Interesting. But this is another area for some of the Shatari Skyguard quests. Got some members of the consortium there, Bashir Arcanists. Bashir Landing. I really like the consortium like aesthetics. Like they have cool decorations and stuff. But I think we can fly back down here and let's zigzag down this area. Or I think that's all the like high up areas that you need to fly into as a part of like the Shatari Skyguard quests. Oh, but here we see a head of a black dragon there, kind of just hanging from this massive bridge right here, which is kind of metal. And we've seen some skulls on like all the ogre buildings too. But here is a really cool spot, which is the Circle of Blood, Baron Sablemane. Well, this is like a super important lore character. My loathing of interruptions is overshadowed only by my hatred of Gruul the Dragon Killer and his 7 sons. But I'm pretty sure he's like relevant in the Dragonflight expansion actually. It's like a super important character. But the Circle of Blood is fun because it is a PvP arena where if you fly into it, you actually get flagged for free-for-all PvP similar to Gurubashi Arena. In Stringworthorn Vale. Here we can see a bunch of the black dragons just hanging out. But this is one of the arenas that was added to the arena system that was implemented with the Burning Crusade, which we'll see another one of these areas in Nagrand soon enough. Another black dragon there. But I think Sablemane is like one of the uncorrupted black dragons, because like the entire black dragons like group on Azeroth like went mad with corruption or whatever because of the old gods and Deathwing and whatnot. Blade Spire Hold. Okay. I think we're over halfway through with Blade's Edge Mountains, so let's go ahead and explore these areas over here. Wish we have Sylvanar over here, which is like the Alliance stronghold. We have Thunderhold stronghold, I believe it's called, or something, which is the main horde base camp right here. Thunderlord stronghold. And I'm just going to fly in where we see Rexar and Misha hanging out right here. And I'm going to fly away before I die. Wish Rexar is really, really cool. Like, oh, I'm dying. Okay, I think we're fine. Wish Rexar is a really, really cool lore character from like Warcraft 3 who played an important part in the founding of Durotar. And then he was hanging out in Desolace in vanilla World of Warcraft, but with the release of, or he played like an important part in like the Horde Attunement quest for Nyxia's Lair, but with the release of the Burning Crusade, he moved to Outlands to return home here to hang out with like his people here. And then he got replaced with like a different NPC who's like another like big champion of the Horde, who like only played like a part to like replace Rexar, which is funny. And then strangely enough, he played like a part in like the Dragonflight expansion for like a very specific, I think it was Dragonflight, for a very specific quest that was like introduced to the game for orc players, which I might like actually do a stream at some point. But we've discovered all the flight paths in Blade's Edge Mountains, which is cool. We have Death's Door right here. And then let's go ahead and fly around the eastern end here, which I think is the final few areas that I need to explore. We got some ogres. We promise be good. Looks like he was just killed and thrown off the cliff there. By one of the Arakoa. So Duffy's, I don't really remember this place too much. We got some Apexis crystals there. Let's come explore the Mok'Nathal village. Which the Mok'Nathal are really cool because they're like a hybrid of like orcs and ogres. But the first server I ever played on was Mok'Nathal. And it was really cool to kind of learn about like the Mok'Nathal after knowing about like that server name because I played on it. We got Mok'Nathal village. And we got Leo Rox, who's the leader of the Mok'Nathal, who is a pretty important lore character. Let's fly back up this way, where I have 4 things left to get, and I'm not entirely sure if all 4 of them are right here, but let's hope they are. Let's hope I didn't miss anything so I don't have to fly across the map again. Just discovered the Bladed Gulch, which is one of them. And then we have the Forge Camp over here. Forge Camp Anger. So there's like 3 distinct Forge Camps in this map. Which if you look at like Hellfire, we have Forge Camp Mageddon, Rage, and Annihilator. And then we'll explore some Forge Camps in Nagrand. And I think there's some in Netherstorm and some in Shadowmoon. So just a big part of Outlands are all these different Forge Camps. So we need to explore the Broken Wilds and Skod, which I don't remember where Skod is, but I think the Broken Wilds is right here. There might be like 2 different areas right here. It's got like the ritual circle right there. Got a bunch of different Fell Corruptors and the Fell Sworn Dagger Maw. Oh, here's Scod. What is this? Oh, is it a play on like Scodding? Oh, I see. Got a bunch of Scorch Imps and Searing Elementals and some lava around here. And then I believe the final spot is right down here. Unless I missed something, which would be a little disappointing. Broken Wilds. There we go. Explore Blade's Edge Mountains complete. So we got every single one of those different objectives that we needed to get. We have Vimgul's Circle right here, a little bonus area. This is like the ritual circle that I was thinking of, which is a cool spot. Which I think is just like a questing area where you fight a boss. But let's go ahead and enter Netherstorm. Which I've explored a lot of Netherstorm on my channel already. But I really like all these different areas around here. Where you have the gyro plank bridge. And all these boom people. What's the best way to explore all of this? I guess we could go ahead and come over here first. Where we have all these different like mana forges that are like sucking whatever out of the sky, and it's powering Kael'thas's forces. Mana Forge Benar, which is fun because all the mana forges are like named in like an alphabetical order. So this is B, and we'll see all the other ones as we progress. There's like an A that's like the last one, I think. But here's Area 52, which is a very fun play on words for Area 51, of course. Wish I've spent a lot of time in here. Let's come down to the Flight Master, Krexa, and then let's go ahead and fly this way. But Area 52 is fun because it's like another goblin town, where we had like 4 major goblin towns in vanilla World of Warcraft. And then with the Burning Crusade, we got like this one major one. Plus, like, you know, some goblins here and there. The Zeppelins. Crashed a Zeppelin in Hellfire Peninsula. Here's the heap. Let's continue this way. I think we have some ruins over here, and we can see another mana forge off in the distance there, and another one way off in the distance over there, and then another one way off in the distance over there, and then there's a 5th one, I believe. Arklon ruins, Pentatathlon. Is that how you pronounce the name? I feel pretty good with that pronunciation. Who? Netherstorm. I am the only Alliance player in Netherstorm, which is fun. If I type /who, refresh. I wonder how many people are on right now. Okay, over 50 Alliance players are online right now. We have Manderforge Koru. And we can see the Sun Fury Blood Elves, counterpart to the Fire Wing. They're both Kael'thas's forces, but they're just in different parts of the world. But we got Kirinvar Village over here, which is a very fun area and a pretty big questing hub. But I really like the docks here, and then you can see like the boat over here. Which I guess I'll go check out the boat. It's kind of just like a sad piece of like storytelling here, where of course the Twisty Nether, which we have like Outlands that's broken out, and into the Twisty Nether, and we can see that this ship was like out at sea in Draenor, and some people were trapped on this ship, like the skeleton right there, and they just had to starve to death on this island, which is very unfortunate. Let's come back this way, which I guess I'll just, maybe I'll do a circle around the map and then come into the center. I thought about maybe having a special area known as Tempest Keep be the final area that I explore, but I think that's fine. Chapel Yard. It's a chapel yard. Okay, there we go. It gave me some experience, but I don't think we need it for the exploration achievement. Got Sun Fury Hold right there. And then we can go ahead and come across this bridge, where there are quite a few bridges all across Outlands. Here is yet another mana forge. And we can see like all the pipes are kind of like connected to each other. And they're all feeding towards Tempest Keep here, which is a very, very cool area. The Vortex Fields. Mana Forge do roll. There we go. But Tempest Keep is the raid that features Kael'thas and Strider, and there are the 3 dungeons around this area. But there's also the Exodar, which is one of the ships that is basically part of like this fleet or whatever. Around Tempest Keep, and the Draenei basically kind of like stole the Exodar and took it to Azeroth, which of course plays a big part in the Draenei starting experience, which I'll explore sometime in the future. I really like the statue of like this goblin here at this graveyard. It's kind of funny. But I really enjoy kind of like the Exodar storyline, and then like all the other stuff around here. Speaking of, I wonder what color is the Exodar, because we have a blue one, a red one, and then a purple one. Exodar, wow. Is there just another purple one? I feel like it's kind of yellow on the bottom, maybe. I'm not sure. We have Tempest Keep, also known as the Eye. This is really cool map art here. It's kind of interesting that like the 3 ships around Tempest Keep aren't in their actual location, as we can like see right here. But it looks better when the art is like this. Can we enter this dungeon, or are we too low level? We can enter the dungeon. We have the Mechanar with a bunch of Tempest Forged Patrollers, and I'm going to promptly leave this area. Okay, let's continue our explorations. Here we have another mana forge, but it is a destroyed one, which is really interesting because we have a lot of story related to like the Void in World of Warcraft, and this is a big area related to the Void. And at the top of the Mana Forge, which we'll get to in a moment, we'll see a very cool character, but there's just a bunch of like void creatures all around this area. And of course the Consortium homeworld was destroyed by a specific individual who is a Void Lord, who we'll see in a moment. I forget the exact name of the Void Lord. We have Mana Forge Ultras, which I guess kind of breaks up the naming convention. But we have this Void Conduit. I thought the Void Lord was at the top. Is he inside? You know, some Void Shriekers. Yeah, this is just a big questing area for the Consortium, and we are out of our league right here. But this used to be one of Kael'thas's strongholds, of course. Let's fly down here. Void Wind Plateau. And the Celestial Ridge, which is another one of those areas related to the Netherwing, which is kind of like an offshoot of the Black Dragonflight because of all of Deathwing's actions. Which we're actually gaining like a decent amount of experience just running around the road. This is kind of like a nice bonus for our adventures here. Voidwind Plateau. But a lot of Consortium stuff, which we'll see in a moment, where there's like consortium, however you pronounce that word, all around, I think it's Consortium, all around Outlands. But I think their like biggest strongholds are here in Netherstorm. Ethereum Staging Grounds. It's kind of a funny name. Let's continue off this direction, where we have the ruins of Farallon, which is a really interesting thing because Farallon is like a big region in Draenor that like has been referenced to a lot in like the Outlands and like in other like pieces of media and like expansions and stuff, I think. But with the Warlords of Draenor expansion, Farallon, we have Ku'Thas right there. Farallon was going to be a part of the Warlords of Draenor expansion, and you could see it on the map, but it never it was like cut out of the expansion, and it never made its way into the expansion, which is unfortunate. But here we have one of the ecodomes, which is kind of like, I think it's like the Consortium's attempts to restoring Netherstorm to its original state of Farallon, where we can see it is like a jungle in here. It's a very beautiful area. It would have been fun to explore this area in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, but unfortunately that and many other things from that expansion were cut. You have a forge base here. Forge base Gehenna. We also have Forge base Oblivion over here. A little bit different than these forge camps. We got some inactive Fel Reavers and some very active Fel Cannons over there. Let's come up over this way, where I have a very distinct memory about like the floating islands up here, but I feel like the memory is fake because I remember exploring this area recently and not seeing what I remembered. But let's go ahead and do some detective work. Right here we have Socrathar's seat, which he is like one of the main bosses of Netherstorm. You can see right there in Eridari. You fight at the end of this massive quest chain. But let's fly up here for just a moment because I'm curious. Because I remember we have like the whole like Boom team thing going on in Area 52. And I remember there being like a Dr. Boom who's like a big lore character. But I remember him being in like Netherstorm. And I remember him being like on top of like one of these mountains or something. And I feel like I'm just crazy, but that must have been a thing at some point. Let's fly back down. He's not up here. Yeah, I don't know where that memory comes from. Is it over there, maybe? Maybe let's do some classic WoW. Dr. Boom. Oh, I guess Dr. Boom actually... Oh yeah, he's the boss you fight near Area 52. Wow, Dr. Boom. Which I guess he plays a part in Dragonflight? Oh, he plays a part in like the current Hearthstone's 10th anniversary thing that's going on. Because he's like a big card in Hearthstone, I think. Anyways, we have Mana Forge Ara right here. Another cool Mana Forge. And this is the A one, so we have A, B, C, D, and then U. Instead of an E. Or I think Otris is a really cool name, so I'll let it slide. The Trillium Mine. The Crumbling Waste. Only a few areas left to explore. 3 specifically, actually, looks like. There are the ruins of Inkat right there. And then I just want to come over here really quickly. Where we have like a small group of Draenei right here, I think, alongside the Consortium, 2 members of the Outdoor, including the Fallen Vindicator, which is sad. Tulaman's Landing. Which, does this give us experience for being here? I don't think it does. But we have some more of those ecodomes, where we have Ecodome Farfield way over there. But we can go ahead and come into this ecodome, which is known as Ecodome Midrealm. And we got some links around here. We got the Shimmering Moth, and we got some water all around here. This is just a very pretty area. Kind of reminds me of Quel'Thalas a little bit. Mostly the lynxes and like it being green, I think. That's why I think that. But we can exit on this side where we see this forge camp here. And there's kind of an annoying quest that's like located right here that I remember, where it's like an escort quest. And it's like kind of challenging. I think it's down here. I really like these lights. I don't know why. Oh yeah, here we have the Consortium sign. And we have Drizja. Feel like helping me to take down the Warp Gate and the Burning Legion camp to the south. Not really. Goodbye, Drisha. Level 69. Let's go ahead, come into Ecodome Mid-Realm. And then we have one final area left to explore, known as the Storm Spire, in the final Ecodome, where we are now 68% of the way to level 66. We are now neutral with the Consortium. I feel like I've talked to almost every single one of the Burning Crusade reputations now. But we can leave Ecodome Mid-Realm, and we can go ahead and come across this bridge, but we're just flying over it. And we can enter the final Ecodome, which is the Storm Spire. Or I think the Ecodome might have like a name. Nope, just known as the Storm Spire. But there we go, explore Netherstorm. So that achievement is complete. Got some Farallon Nashers and some Talbook, which we'll be seeing a lot of Talbook in Nagrand. We have Ecodome Sky Perch. But let's go ahead, fly up here to the top of the Storm Spire. And we can see that this is like the biggest Consortium base in the entire area, in all of Outlands. There's like a small one over in Nagrand that we'll see. Consortium Tabard, kind of a cool tabard. And we have the image of Nexus Prince Haramid, or Haramad, or whatever, who is the leader of the Consortium. And I think with completing Netherstorm, that is everything that I wanted to explore with our little excursion into Blade's Edge Mountains and into Netherstorm, which was really fun. And then I did that on top of all of our explorations of Terakar Forest, where I explored all of Terakar Forest and I completed many a quest here, where we completed 32 quests, and I feel pretty happy and content with all of our explorations in this stream. Let's go ahead, find a merchant, where I should probably find a repair merchant actually. Let's go ahead. I can throw this down there, throw you right there, and then healing potion there, I suppose. Is there a repair merchant over here? We have an arena vendor, which I don't think you will repair for me, but we can buy some arena gear with only honor points. Enchanting trainer, inscription trainer, which is a Wrath Lich King thing, mining trainer, jewel crafting trainer. What about on one of these other buildings? Specialty ammunition vendor. Nope, not even you. What about in this building? Staff vendor, you must be yeah, you're a repair, and I don't need a repair. Got a battle staff and a war staff, which I guess, oh, that's a cool painting of planets right there. Is that out of Draenor's moons? That's, oh, that moon's out. Where I think my inventory needs quite a bit of work, but that will require me to go to Stormwind City. Where I just wanted to check out in the Scryers tier, which honestly looks a fair bit better than the outdoor tier. But there's pros and cons to each one. But if we come all the way up here, we can see the leader of the Scryers, Vornthaw the Seer. There are those who seek to lie and twist the truth. Seers, on the other hand, bring the truth to light. The purpose of this library, Athelsilian, is to make a seer out of everyone. Where this is kind of a really cool thing where we have all these like bookshelves right here that will teach you like the crafting disciplines, which is very unique. Very cool profession trainers. But back up to the outdoor tier. Whereas they fly up there, let's go ahead and check out Slash Played. Where I played this character quite a bit. 24, 48, 52 hours on this character. That's too much time spent playing. But let's go ahead and come over to the main temple here in the outdoor rise. And we can go ahead and say quick hi to the leader of the outdoor, who is Ishana, High Priestess of the Outdoor. Welcome, Athelsalian. We are the outdoor priests of the light and servants of the Shatar. You are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Where we can ask her a couple of questions, where if you want to read that, you can like pause or whatever. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this stream good here, where I explored a lot of Terracar and some other stuff in Outland as well. And I feel pretty content with everything we have done so far, and I'm excited to explore the next zone because some people consider it the best zone in all of World of Warcraft. So it should be fun. But I hope y'all are taking good care of yourselves. Good night. And have a good night. I was saying good night to chat, but now I'm saying good night to chat as well. There's a wave.